come out after the 5 years of making the first one. And he had gone from 8,000 subscribers to 140 million subscribers. 140 million subscribers. And what he's done from there is he's gone from there to way over 200 million subscribers. But the main point I'm trying to make here is he really knew the person that he wanted to become. When you look at his mindset and you hear him talk about this, because I've literally looked to devour as much information to really understand the man behind the man. And he talks about, there's an interview that I found where he talks about that every night he'd go to sleep and he'd go, you know what I did today, that worked, that didn't work, that sucked, that video sucked. But he said, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to do better. Because when we are driven by a vision, when we're driven by a purpose, when we're driven, as many people would talk about, a why, and I personally believe that having a big why is massively overrated, hugely overrated. I have met so many people with huge whys. They will tell me their whys, but they're still not doing anything different because of their identity. Most people identify with their past self or their current self. That's their personality, is what they're saying yes to, which is intrinsically linked to their identity. Their identity is who they think they are. And we might have a big why, but who we think we are is, well, we're not good enough, or we don't have what it takes. What he has done, and you see this beautifully, I don't think there's any better example. Well, there are a few other great examples, but he has to be one of the greatest in terms of, I know the person that I need to become. And this is the person I'm committed to becoming. And what's so fascinating about him is that when he made all of this money, yes, he started to buy extravagant things. He bought a car, he bought a bigger house, and he just realized it didn't make him happy. It didn't make him happy, so he gave it all away. And when you see him in this video when he's going into all these houses, he actually says, I could never live in a house like this, because he's a very humble human being. He realized that money is overrated, but he has this goal to accomplish, to change the world. And this crazy idea that he had about planting 1 million trees, he came up with this idea. You know, he wants to make these positive, upbeat videos. It's easy to make videos where people are trashing people and having a go at people, but he decided to make, and they're not easy videos to make if you want to get people to watch and click, and it's amazing. He's going to have videos that 1 billion people are going to watch. You know, I'm fortunate enough, I've got YouTube videos that actually aren't on my channel that have got, one of them's got over 8 million. And the income that comes from that, I tell you, I never did it because that's what I wanted. It's fascinating, actually, because the ones that have performed the best are about money. They're about affirmations. They're like 1.5 hours long. I think one's got 7 million, one's got 8 million. But I did it because I want to put good content out into the world. But most of us, that's what we want to get rewarded for, what we put in. It's putting it in and putting it in and putting it in. And what an example when we come to talking about the planting of trees. Because when he decided, I'm going to plant 1 million trees, someone said it can't be done. And that pissed him off. So he said, well, in that case, I'm going to plant 20 million trees. And he spoke to a guy who was working at Apple, and they worked together. And what they've done is just amazing. In 2020, they planted 8 million of these trees and raised millions and millions and millions. Even Elon Musk donated 1 million. Isn't it crazy to think about what the impact of those trees will have on the world and the environment? And it's so fascinating. Don't you think when someone says, I'm going to do something, how a lot of people will say, that can't be done because it hasn't been done before. But then when we look at great people, great entrepreneurs, great visionaries, they did have a vision of what they wanted. We've all heard that. Like Martin Luther King, I have a dream. But he could see the dream. He could show people the dream. They could visualize what he was seeing. But what is often missing missing is knowing the person that we need to become. And all of the science and neuroscience, and I'm only one of a very few people around the world that talks into this, that has created content to genuinely help people form a bond. The most important bond I say we will ever have is with the person that we could become. Now, if that might not be for you, you might look at this differently. But the people that I've helped over the last few years build a compelling relationship to their future self so they can see that person. But not just see them, but to realize that when they look at that person that they see isn't them. And I know that's what Mr. Beast did. He just knew that's the person he needs to become. What about you? Who are you committed to becoming? Who do you want to serve? Just a little bit more about Mr. Beast. If you go and look at his stuff, see what he did during COVID. They literally gave money away to people that were losing their jobs. They literally went into a shop and they bought everything and gave it away. They're building food banks all over America, and they want to do it all over the world. They want to normalize giving. Isn't that amazing? So I would love you to go and check out Mr. Beast, who he is, what he's doing. Go and look at the 2 YouTube videos that I made about him, where I do a deeper dive into who this person is. So who is Mr. Beast? I think he's a fantastic example of entrepreneurship. I think he's a fantastic example of giving to the world and serving the world and leaving the world in a better place than he came here. I think he's an amazing example of mindset, the mindset of, I just want to get better. Mindset on, I know the person I want to become. His 10-year YouTube video that he's scheduled to go out all those years ago, I think that comes out next year. And he said he's made other videos of him talking to his future self that are going to come out down the line. A truly great human being, and someone I think we should all hold in very high regard. So what do you think? You can see on LinkedIn that this is something I would like you to do for me in return. I've just posted on LinkedIn and on Facebook. I've said for those of people that missed this audio room this morning, or for those of you that came but just want to do a deeper dive, feel free to comment on what you've taken away from today on that post. But also look at the video. I think it's about 10 minutes long. And in that video, where I'm talking about Mr. Beast, I show you some extracts from those videos that he made where he's talking to his future self. So look, I'm going to hold the room open for 10 more minutes because I've got a taxi coming here in 10 minutes that's taking me to the airport. I'm flying to Lisbon. I'm speaking in Lisbon at a conference on Wednesday, which is fascinating because I spoke to this organization in 1997, before some of you were even born, perhaps. And then Friday, I'm flying to Florence. I'm speaking at an event on Saturday in Italy. You're all welcome to come and follow me. For those of you that like to follow people, I try not to follow too many people because I just get lost. Follow me on Instagram. Follow what the stories that if you want to follow me. But if anyone has anything they want to say, feel free to click on some faces that you see in this room and see what people do. You might make a new friend. I want to make a new friend. I want to click on someone I don't know. So Nadim Islam, a cyber project manager. I'm going to click on his face. I'm going to go through the London Stock Exchange group. He seems like a good person. We've got some mutual friends. I'm going to connect with him. This is the power of this platform that we can connect with each other. So there we go. We've got Martin. Let's hear from Martin. Let me just take this out here first. There you go, Martin. Good friend. What would you like to say? Good morning.
What I've learned from Mr. Beast is the art of the possible with courage. His videos are so inspiring, so engaging. He's built a community around his courage. Now, we all have the opportunity to host an audio room LinkedIn using our mobile phone. That's the one thing that we can all do. So really the gift, the prize of courage is you being courageous and what you make of it, what you make of the opportunity. And 2 weeks ago, I hadn't even met Jan Santos. Now we are collaborating. Now he's helping me with my videos. He's an awesome podcast host. And we're seeing the art of the possible by collaborating. We're both courageous. But I didn't even know him 2 weeks ago. And now we've become great friends and partnering together. And I'm complete.
Martin, how did you meet him?
I met him in an audio room. And then I met him again in your audio room. And you helped connect us.
There you go. That's what I want to hear, that I am the connector. Thank you so much. Martin, you and I are going to be running a room. Actually, we were just, I know Jan is actually creating some artwork for us to run that event. I've worked with Jan for nearly 3 years. And guys, if you don't know Jan, go click on his face. Go see who he is and what he does. The fact that Martin's in Australia and Jan is in the Philippines, it's just awesome. And guys, I've worked with Martin and he's really inspired me massively with using this platform and just dialing down on it and taking it a bit more seriously and just being more meticulous to what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And go check him out and go check out some of the courses that he's created, or the course that he's created, if you really want to use LinkedIn. Why don't you just tell everyone here, I'd love you just to share actually what you have created, who it's for, and what people get from the LinkedIn content that you've created.
So I've been on LinkedIn 4.5 years and a 2-time top voice. So I've created a course for people who want to make an impact and achieve business success on LinkedIn. So we're starting with how to have a quality profile, having a clear and succinct message, and posting the quality content that you post. And then how to become a trusted authority and attract clients. And then about how you can find and influence decision makers, grow a meaningful network in generating those warm leads. And if you want success on the platform, the prize is there for you, and that's what my course is. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, I've met many people in my life. I'm a serial lover of people, and I can tell you, Martin is one of the most authentic people I've met. And when he's become a top voice on this platform, which I am also going to become a top voice on this platform, no question about it. He's one of the most authentic people, and I would really encourage you to check him out. Go to the audio rooms that he runs. We're going to do a room together. I think that's next week. Is that next week?
Yeah, it's next Wednesday, and Jan's going to be co-hosting.
Sweet. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. If anyone else wants to come up, I'm going to keep the room open for 6 minutes, especially if you've got any audio rooms coming up yourself and you want to promote. I'd love to. I'm going to start doing some stuff. Mary Stepan and I have spoken about doing some speed dating on authentic speed dating, where we just get to know more about who we are and what we do, because I just think we've got such an opportunity on this platform. MJ is in the house. MJ, what would you like to say this morning?
Just want to say that we started on Clubhouse about Mr. Beast, and it's interesting that, his mum threw him out of the house when he decided to leave uni. So he didn't actually graduate. So I think that doing it differently is exactly what we need to do. And very often I find that through that, you just find a new way. And you're finding a new way, right? This is a fantastic happening. Martin, I just want to say thank you for us meeting the other day and for coping with the fact that I've had this ridiculous chest infection. But Pete, I just think that we start at 6 o'clock in Clubhouse. We have an hour and then we come over here, and everything that you are feeds into everything that I do and am. I'm just grateful, and I want to say that you are the serial connector. Of course you are. That's exactly who you are. And I love you.
Listen,
and I love you.
Thank you. Being connected to people like you is just what it's all about, because there's people that are we're all playing a game in life, aren't we? Every single one of us, we're playing a game.
I'm playing a good game, mate. I'm playing a good game.
Well, I think the quality of the games that we play are about knowing who we are at our core, knowing what our value is, knowing how to get our value into the marketplace, into the world, knowing how to do that. And that's where people like Martin can seriously help, because of these platforms that do exist.
Yeah.
But knowing how to navigate around them and use them well is something that everybody seems to need help with. MJ is one of those people I would encourage, please, everyone to follow her. Go check her out and see what she does, because she's here to make a difference. Her work is all about inclusion, including people. Why should people follow you, MJ?
Well, because, 26.4 of us are already disabled, and half of people in the workplace don't even feel included, whether they're disabled or not. There's lots of reasons, but basically employees don't know how to be disabled and employees in the UK, and employers don't know how to have disabled people in their employment. So whether you are employing people or you are an employee or any of the above or any derivative between, you need to contact me if disability affects you or will affect you or may affect you or already has affected you. And that includes those mental challenges that we talk about: depression, anxiety, autism. You talked about Mr. Beast probably being autistic. Well, if he's in the UK, he's not, I know, but he'd be entitled to access to work. And actually, it can make the difference. Most disabled people that get a job are unemployed within a year. And that's because the employer doesn't know what to do and they don't know how to be disabled and employed. So people need to get in touch if they're either of the above. Thanks.
There you go. Isn't it amazing when you hear people speak about what they do and you can feel the passion? She could have said that in another language, and I'm sure many of us would have gone, I need to follow this person. Let's use this platform for what it is designed to do, to link us together, to connect. Someone was talking, Martin was just talking about collaborating. I love that word, co-laboring. How can we co-labor? Look, there are many things that I like to talk about, and what's going on in the world right now is very, 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 very distressing. It's the most distressing time. It's the most distressing time of my life from what I see in the world, to the point of actually not wanting to look at the news just because of how distressing it is. But we can't walk away from what's happening in the world. But what can we do? And again, I'm sure there are many things that we can all do. But one thing I think we can all do is ask each other a question. What can I do for you? How can I help you? How can we be radiant exemplars in such a challenging season that the world is experiencing? I just want to thank all of you for coming here. And I'm genuinely going to ask you this question. And I'm so curious to see what happens. Every single one of you, I'm asking you, how can I help you? What do you need? How can I help? Because who knows? I might be able to help you. And if I can't, maybe someone else can. And maybe you can help me. Maybe we could all help each other. I'm looking right now at Napoleon Hill's 17 Principles of Success. It's a big poster. I bought it when I actually met Napoleon Hill's grandson. I was speaking at an event in Vegas. 25,000 people on the Napoleon Hill Foundation were there. And Napoleon Hill, as many of you have heard me say, said in the 1920s, the era of the go-getter has gone. It's gone. Gone. This is not the era of the go-getter. This is the era of the go-giver. Now, it's taken a long time for that message to kind of get through to people. But I would imagine all of you in this room, all of you, because you're a go-giver. You're not here to just, what can I get? What can I have? And Mr. Beast is such a beautiful example of that, because he gave, he got, and then with what he got, he realized it wasn't what was going to make him happy. So he decided to give that away and keep giving. The gift that keeps on giving is love. Thank you to all of you that came in. Oh, I see Rihanna wants to speak. So let's hear from her. Good morning, Rihanna. How are you? What would you like to say?
Good morning, Pete. Thank you so much. I know you've got a taxi coming, so I'm going to keep it short.
No, it's all right. The taxi's not here yet, so carry on.
My good luck. My top takeaway this morning is actually something that you said that was almost an aside. And I've heard you say it before, but this time it really hit me. And you said, I don't like to follow too many people because I tend to get lost. And I just had a real vision of being in a busy street and trying to get somewhere and then going, oh, follow this person. Oh, no, follow this person. Oh, no, follow this person. And it just really resonated with me this morning. So that is my top takeaway from the room this morning, Pete. And I think I'm going to get unfollowing on some of my social channels because I'm getting a bit lost out there and it's pulling me away from my core message. So, yeah, thanks for saying that this morning.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's how many people can we follow? Really? I mean, I'm very careful about who I'm following. So like Martin is the person I follow right now in terms of using LinkedIn. If I had a question about LinkedIn, he's the person, he's my go-to. And I think it's great to have go-to people and it's great to have people around you that support you. But Rihanna, once again, you just spoke there into your core message. Can you tell everyone what is your core message?
Yeah, thanks so much, Pete. So I am a wellbeing mentor, helping people to create sustainable, happy, healthy lifestyles, and it's based on my own journey, and that's what I want to do. I want to help people who see that in their future selves.
And that's what you do. I mean, it's what you do, and you do it very well. And I appreciate you so much. And I know you have a great mentor in your life, in Lucienne. I know she's a powerhouse of possibility and just making, pardon my French, making shit happen. So, guys, I'm going to close the room. I want to thank all of you that have been here today. If you want to do something for me, then go check out that YouTube video. My last LinkedIn post, you'll see, I just briefly say, if you missed the room this morning, watch this video. If you didn't miss it and you watched it and you want to do a deeper dive, watch the video. Feel free to like, comment, share. Feel free to share what your biggest takeaway was if you want. But I just want you to know how much I appreciate you all. If you look around the room again, just maybe click on someone's face. I'm just clicking on Beatrice, is AWS community builder, technical writer. I'm definitely going to follow her. There we go. Who else could I follow that I don't know that could become? I'm looking for people I don't know, but it looked Norma, who I know, who I'm actually wasn't following, but I'm now following. There you go. What about Brett? I'm following Brett. Yeah, I know Brett. Click on Brett's face. Advanced communication specialist, increasing your people intelligence in an AI-driven world. CEO and lead consultant at Interpersonal Sites. Host of the Insight to Impact podcast. So that sounds interesting. Maybe, Brett, you could come on my podcast. Have a look around. It's like a sweet shop of awesome people. Emma Guest, I can't believe I'm not following you, but I'm now following you because I know you. But that's it, guys. I've got to find out where my taxi is. I'll see you in Portugal. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you next Monday. I'm back in the UK. Ta-ta.